They drag the bull over to the dried-up well. Once the bull finds its footing, they immediately smash the rotting well cover. The bull loses its balance and plunges straight down into the well. Agonizing cries echo up from the bottom, but the man shows no mercy whatsoever. Instead, he raises his shotgun and puts another round into the bull. Only after confirming the animal is completely dead does he finally let out a sigh of relief. And the reason they did all this? It was simply to hold on to their family's 4,000 acres of land. Jack is a farmer. He owns over 4,000 acres. Because Jack is a traditional man, his one wish is to pass the land down to his son, keeping it in the family for generations. But his wife has long grown sick of farm life. She wants to sell all 4,000 acres and open a clothing store in the city. The couple fights about this every single day. Even their son, Bandy, doesn't want to move to the city. One day, after yet another disagreement, his wife asks Jack for a divorce. It turns out she's already found a buyer for the land. Once the divorce goes through, they'll split the money. Jack is completely helpless when he hears this, because the land his wife is selling is his land. Jack then asks about custody of their son. His wife insists that a child should stay with his mother. Jack knows that's absolutely out of the question, because if that happens, there will be no one to inherit his land. He asks his wife to give him some time to think it over. That day, Jack stares at the well on their property. A terrifying thought creeps into his mind. He wants to kill his wife. It's the only way to keep his son and his land safe from any threat. Before long, Jack happens to discover that his son Bandy has been seeing the neighbor's daughter, Lisa. A plan immediately starts forming in his head. While Jack and Bandy are working in the fields, Jack tells Bandy that he might not be able to see Lisa anymore, because his mother is going to take him to live in the city. Bandy asks his father if there's anything they can do. Jack doesn't spell it out directly. Instead, he says something very cryptic. If Bandy wants to stay with Lisa forever, someone will have to get hurt or lose their life. Bandy understands exactly what his father means. He doesn't object, and he doesn't agree. He just stands there in silence. That evening at dinner, Bandy tries to convince his mother to stay, but before he can even finish, his mother slaps him right across the face. This only makes the seed of hatred in Bandy's heart grow even stronger. On top of that, his mother declares that she will definitely take Bandy to the big city. Hearing this, all that's left in Bandy's eyes is pure anger. And with that, father and son decide it's time to set their plan in motion. The next day arrives. Jack tells his wife that he and Bandy have agreed to move to the city. He even says he could find work there as a repairman or something. His wife is overjoyed. She completely lets her guard down. That evening, they throw a little party at home. Because his mother drinks way too much, she starts saying some disgusting things to Bandy all about Lisa. Bandy is furious. He opens the door and storms out. As expected, his wife drinks herself unconscious. Jack has to hold her up just to keep her standing. Eventually, Jack carries his wife to bed. He stands by the bedside, watching until she falls asleep, and then he leaves. Jack finds Bandy. It's time for the next step. Bandy is hesitant at first. He can't bring himself to do it. But Jack manipulates him again, and Bandy silently gives in. Bandy grabs a burlap sack. Jack picks up a fruit knife. The two of them slowly walk into the wife's bedroom. Bandy whispers goodbye to his mother, then shoves the sack over her head. As the woman thrashes and struggles, Jack drives the knife straight into her neck. That single blow is all it takes to silence her. They carry the body outside. Perhaps from the sheer shock of it all, Bandy passes out cold. Jack has no choice. He hauls the body to the well and throws it in by himself. Bandy comes to just as he finishes. The two of them then go back inside to clean up the blood. The next day, Jack takes his wife's suitcase and walks over to the well. He's doing this to create a cover story for his wife's disappearance. When he opens the well cover, he sees that his wife's body has come apart from the blanket, and there are rats everywhere. The sight makes Jack sick to his stomach. Just then, the corpse's mouth moves. Jack is absolutely terrified. He thinks his eyes are playing tricks on him and looks again. A rat crawls right out of the corpse's mouth. Disgusted and furious, Jack hurls the suitcase down into the well. He yells at the rats to stay away from his wife. Then he slams the cover shut and walks away. To cover up his crime, he tells everyone that his wife ran away from home. Since she left on foot, she only took one suitcase. This explains why Jack threw the suitcase into the well. He just wants to clear himself of suspicion and destroy all the evidence. One day while Jack is working, the land buyer his wife had been in contact with shows up. But Jack already has his story ready. He tells the buyer straight up that his wife left home. The buyer doesn't buy it. Of course, he was offering top dollar. Any normal person would have jumped at the deal. The buyer says he wants to take a look around Jack's property, but Jack stops him and calls Bandy over. Bandy backs up the story, confirming that their mother ran away. The buyer has no choice but to leave, empty-handed and frustrated. Jack knows this man won't let it go that easily. He's sure the buyer will bring the police. Then Jack has a flash of inspiration, a perfect solution. Father and son lead a bull over to the well. They deliberately place a thin wooden board over the opening. Just as they expected, the bull quickly falls through. Agonizing bellows rise up from the bottom of the well. To avoid drawing attention, Jack grabs his shotgun and fires a round into the bull. The noise finally stops. Then the two of them fill in the well. Sure enough, the police show up shortly after. They claim the bull accidentally fell into the well. The sheriff doesn't seem too suspicious. Jack even invites the sheriff inside to search the house. But after looking around, the sheriff finds nothing. He was just there to confirm whether Jack's wife had really left home. As for the well, the sheriff doesn't even glance at it. After some brief goodbyes, the sheriff leaves. It's the busy farming season now. Jack and Bandy handle the fieldwork while Lisa cooks for them. One day, Lisa pulls Jack aside. She says Bandy hasn't been himself lately. He keeps spacing out, like something's weighing on his mind. Jack quickly jumps in with an explanation. He says Bandy's probably just lovesick. This makes Lisa burst out laughing. In the end, she doesn't think much of it. That night, the cows on Jack's farm suddenly start bellowing. He rushes out to check. When he enters the barn, he finds a rat gnawing on one of the cows. Jack reaches for his shotgun, but the rat darts into a pipe. Jack chases after it, and a wave of putrid stench hits him right in the face. It makes him vomit on the spot. The pipe leads to that well. That horrible smell is the stench of the decomposing corpse. Jack quickly plugs up the pipe. He's about to go to bed when he turns around and sees his dead wife standing there. But when he looks more carefully, it's just his son Bandy, who woke up after hearing the commotion. The next day, Jack seals the pipe shut with cement. Shortly after, Bandy comes to his father with good news. He says Lisa is pregnant. He wants his father to throw them a wedding, but Jack says they're too young, and the family has no money. Bandy is furious. He starts blaming his father. They could have had money. If his mother were still here, she would have paid for the wedding. It's only now that Bandy realizes how much his mother meant to him, but it's far too late. Before long, Lisa's father John comes over after learning the news. Jack can't stand John, not because of Lisa's pregnancy, but because John has a fancy car and a wonderful, devoted wife. Jack is green with envy. Plain and simple, he's jealous of the man's good life. John is here to tell Jack that he's taking his daughter to a care facility in the city. The cost is $300. John knows Jack's family is broke, so he only asks Jack to pay $75. But Jack uses his wife's departure as an excuse and refuses to pay a single cent. He claims his wife cleaned out the house when she left. John is livid. He tells Jack to take out a bank loan. If Jack can't come up with the money within a week, John will take his daughter and leave. Bandy overhears every word of their conversation. He doesn't want to be separated from Lisa. After John leaves, Bandy tells his father he's going to elope with Lisa. Jack absolutely won't have it. They have no money, and Lisa is pregnant. The two of them going out there on their own would be a death sentence. But Bandy won't listen to his father's warnings. He still blames everything on his father. After a huge blow-up, Bandy drives off to school alone. After Bandy leaves, Jack figures his wife must have had some money stashed away. He rummages through her clothes and actually finds a few bills, but it's still not enough to make $75. With no other option, Jack goes to the bank for a loan, but the amount is so small that the bank won't even approve it. Just as Jack is about to leave, he finds a letter on the car seat. It's from Bandy. Bandy has already eloped with Lisa. He tells his father not to come looking for him, and if his father calls the police, they'll tell the sheriff the truth about their mother's death. Jack returns home, defeated. He stares at the photos on the wall and starts to wonder if he was the one who got it all wrong. What was once a happy family has been reduced to just him, all alone. What good is all that land now? That night, while Jack is reading, a drop of blood suddenly falls onto the page. It startles him badly. He looks up and realizes the ceiling is leaking. The next day, the sheriff comes by again. He says someone robbed a general store in town. Based on the physical description, the sheriff believes the suspect is very likely Bandy. Jack immediately denies it. In his eyes, Bandy has always been a good kid. He insists the sheriff has the wrong person. The sheriff has no choice but to leave, because the house keeps leaking. Jack goes to the bank and takes out a loan for $750. When he gets home and is about to put the money away, a rat suddenly appears and bites him. Jack yelps in pain and flings the rat to the ground, then stomps on it furiously. Afterward, he does a simple disinfection on the wound. Because of his injured hand, Jack never gets around to fixing the roof. What started as a small leak has now become a gaping hole. Before he knows it, winter arrives. Jack's hand still hasn't healed. He wants to go to the hospital, but his car won't start. With no other option, he heads back inside to keep warm. Just then, the front door starts swinging open and shut in the wind, and in a daze, Jack sees his dead wife standing there. Terrified, he stumbles backward. He thinks he's hallucinating and turns back to look again. His wife is actually coming toward him. Jack turns and runs, but he trips and tumbles down the stairs. Before he can even collect himself, his dead wife slowly descends the staircase toward him. But strangely, she doesn't harm him. Instead, she tells Jack a story. After Bandy and Lisa eloped, they became a notorious outlaw couple. Every day was either theft or robbery. They committed so many crimes that their wanted posters even made it into the newspapers. One day, while the two of them are eating, the shop owner recognizes them from the paper. Just as they're about to leave, the owner pulls out a pistol and shoots Lisa. As Bandy rushes Lisa to the hospital, he loses focus and drives the car into a ditch. With no other option, Bandy carries Lisa to an abandoned shack. Because it's unbearably cold, Bandy goes out to gather some branches. He manages to get a fire going, but when he turns around, Lisa is already dead. Bandy can't accept reality. In the end, he chooses to follow Lisa into death. Jack can't believe what he's hearing. He refuses to accept that any of this is real. Some time passes, he doesn't know how long. The sheriff finds Jack and gets into a hospital. Because the wound has become severely infected, the doctors amputate his hand. Shortly after, the sheriff comes to see him. He says they found a female body, and the physical features closely match Jack's wife. The sheriff believes his wife was likely robbed and murdered while she was on the road. Jack says nothing. He knows the police have the wrong person, and conveniently, this clears his name. The sheriff also tells him about Bandy's death. When Jack sees Bandy's body, he's horrified. Whether it's his mother's revenge or not, Bandy's face has been gnawed beyond recognition by rats. At his son's funeral, Jack turns around and sees his wife has come too. After the funeral, Jack goes to find John. He wants to sell his land to John, but John has also lost his daughter. He's no longer the man he used to be. Since his daughter left, he's been drinking non-stop. Even his wife has left him. When Jack sees that John's family has fallen apart too, he abandons the idea of selling to him. To pay off his loan, Jack ends up selling his land to a real estate developer. After the sale, Jack moves to the city and takes on manual labor. Even though he's left the farm, the rats still follow him everywhere. To keep his mind from spiraling, he has a drink after work every day. He drinks for 2 full years, until every last cent from the land sale is gone. Whenever Jack has time off, he visits the places Bandy had been. And that's when the regret truly hits him. If he had just listened to his wife back then, he'd at least still have his family by his side. At the end of the story, Jack is old and gray. Just then, Bandy calls out to him. Jack looks up and sees his wife, Bandy, and Lisa all gazing at him. And with that, the film comes to an end.